They knew I was vulnerable. They knew that.
But it is very difficult to deal with that situation if you're faced with an actual person who doesn't look like a wrong un.
We'd just done a roofing job down the road, and I knew that one of my neighbours had had a roofing job done, and I'd watched them and they were very, very good. So I immediately thought, oh, well, that's all right, you know, they've done Helen and everything. And so the conversation went on. I felt a bit uneasy, but then I kept thinking, oh, well, if they've done, you know, down the road, made a good job, that's fine. And then went out into the back of the house and said, oh, these tiles and those tiles. And then we got to sort of talking about how much it would cost, and out came the spiel about, oh, I can do it a lot cheaper, love, you know, and all that. And I bought it, stupidly, and I wasn't in a good place because at the particular time I had a lot of family worries, and my whole life was based around that. And my first thought when anything wrong with the roof was mentioned is, oh, that's the last thing I need to cope with. On top of everything else, I can't have anything go wrong with the house. So I suppose that was half in my mind. Anyway, he sat in my kitchen, opposite me at my kitchen table, and the other guy stood up, was standing by me, and that's when I felt a bit vulnerable. And then we had the credit cards and paid for this, that, and the other. And I thought at the time, well, I've got their card. It says you've got a 14-day, you know, opt-out. I thought, well, that's all right. I'll initiate that afterwards, thinking it was genuine, but of course it wasn't. I sent him an email, I think it was, and said, I've changed my mind. I need to, you know, get the money back, etc. Oh, I can bring the cash round. I said, well, you know, that's not going to work. I paid with credit card. Oh, well, you'll have to give me your credit card details. I thought, no. And that's when I really realised that I got caught. It's made me more wary, and I've taken more precautions with home security, etc., etc. Less trustful of people, which is a shame, and a bit more careful, I think, a bit more careful, and a bit more thinking, oh, well, you know, I'm older, people can obviously see I'm older, am I going to be got at again?
A man approached me, having driven up in a pickup, and said, I'm doing some roofing work up the road, and I just happened to be passing, and I noticed you got a slate loose on your roof. After some chat, he called his friends, who turned up with a ladder and a young chap and someone else. So they did that and said, oh, you really have problems here because the felt lining is all coming apart. And all this is going to cost you £6,000 or £6,000. And but in the meantime, we'd like £2,500 so that we can buy the material. They wanted to give me some assurance that they had bona fides, and so they produced a pamphlet and a so-called guarantee for the work. Yeah, this is the pamphlet they gave me, and this inside is the so-called guarantee certificate, which of course isn't worth the paper it's written on.